Hi, welcome to Portage County Matters. I'm Patty Dreier, Portage County Executive, and of course it's wonderful to have you with us today. We've got a great show. This show is all about summer youth programs, children's programs at the library here in Portage County, and I can't wait to introduce you to Nicole in just a minute. We've got two news notes, one's on EMS and one's on parks. And as of the taping of the show today, which is May 22nd, it's right in the middle of National EMS Week, and so I really wanted to take a few minutes to highlight our emergency medical services program, our EMS program here from the Portage County standpoint, and say public thank you to all of those who are our emergency responders. On May 15th, we hosted an EMS summit for the first time in Portage County, and that was an opportunity to call together municipal leaders from across our whole county, and 21 municipalities were represented with about 40 or so individuals present to share their ideas about the strengths of our current countywide emergency medical system, the weaknesses, as well as opportunities before us to improve upon what we have and questions that we would like to get answers to as we look at options going forward. So I'm really excited about what happened at that summit. I've got some photos of that summit posted on my Facebook page, my government official Facebook page. So if you're on social media, you're welcome to take a look there and kind of see what it was looking like at the same time. It's a great compliment to hearing about the vision of it. I'd like to read a short excerpt from our 2013 annual report of EMS. And I think it's a fascinating thing, sort of a summary of what is our emergency medical system comprised of here in Portage County. It is comprised of 2 advanced life support ambulance services, one's paramedic and one's an intermediate, capable of responding to calls with up to 6 ambulances. It also includes 13 first responder agencies, including 11 municipal services and 2 industry-based groups providing emergency medical response and emergency medical technician level care. So EMR and EMT level care. We also have the unified dispatch that you've heard a lot about in our past shows, utilizing our emergency medical dispatch protocols. These are all a mouthful, over and over to say them. And then 1 EMS system medical director, currently provided by Ministry St. Michael's Hospital. That's Dr. Timothy Vader. And that's provided free of charge to us here in Portage County, thanks to Ministry. And then the administrative system that underpins all of this, and it's coordinated out of our Portage County Emergency Management Office. And that includes a part-time EMS coordinator and a part-time EMS specialist. If we look at our 2013 response data at a glance, still reading from the annual report from last year, there were 4,412 ambulance requests. There were 3,041 of those requests that involved transporting patients to a hospital. So 1,400 of them never were transported in just some general math here as I'm looking at the numbers. And 234 transfers and return trips were made to and from various other medical facilities or between agency, organizational kinds of moves that required an ambulance transport, such as going to long-term care, things like that. And then 1,508 first responder calls. The first responders are those out in the neighborhoods, in the rural areas, at businesses and so on, that oftentimes get to the scene before an ambulance is needed, and even sometimes then are able to take care of things and the ambulance never needs to complete the trip. So it's a really important part of the system. In our 2013 annual report, it also reads, 2013 was a busy year for Portage County EMS, both in terms of call volume as well as planning, organization, and system growth and improvements. Some of the highlights of 2013 included development of a dispatch quality committee, implementation of a first responder credentialing process, training on and distribution of a new advanced airway to all EMS providers, improved process for sharing EMS patient documentation with the hospital, and the revision of county-wide patient care guidelines. And of course, those things are all under the medical license of Dr. Vader, who's just a very important piece of the puzzle here and a player in the system of our countywide EMS. There are a couple other facts I wanted to share with you about EMS before we transition to that parks note that I wanted to offer you. There are some other facts that I provided at the EMS Summit that I thought you would like to know about. One of them is the cost to operate our countywide EMS in 2014, so this is projected through the end of this calendar year, is again projected to be $2.8 million, with 55% of that funding coming from the users of the system itself. For example, if an ambulance comes to your aid and then we tap your insurances to be able to cover the cost of the supplies and the response, the extra response, and so on and so forth, then that contributes toward the 55% of funding that comes from the users of the system. So that's an important piece, so that then we don't have to tax the people of the county as much, because we're tapping the revenues that are coming up through insurances for those who are using the system. That kind of, when you put it all together, gives us our full picture of the cost of the system. If you also think about it, the cost per county resident then per year, that's per county resident, all 70+ thousand of us here in the county, the cost per resident to operate our centralized countywide EMS is just shy of $40 a person. $39.88. And we all know that medical care and so on and so forth is very expensive. And anyway, I still believe, though, as I sit here today, that having a service like that available to us in the county, for me personally, to spend about $40 of my $40 for that entire system available to me is a real deal if you want to think of it from at least where I sit as a taxpayer too. I'm looking forward to continuing to learn about our current system and the possibilities for how to improve upon it, keep it as fiscally responsible as we can as we make decisions going forward. So anyway, I really want to encourage you, if you know anybody that wants to become a first responder, wants to look into it, look into the possibilities. This is a critical need in Portage County, no pun intended on that one for sure, but a real opportunity lies before us to have even better care at a very reasonable cost by looking at our first responder network and continuing to build that network. So if you can give me a call. If you've got a person that's interested, can give our office a call. We'll go ahead and get you connected with the right folks that you can talk with about the possibilities in your own life to be that kind of hero. Then I'm going to switch gears now to Parks Department. The annual report for 2013 was presented to the county board this week at our county board meeting, and the total Parks Department revenues is something I wanted to share with you. There's, I think, some pretty fascinating news. For 2013 was the highest ever in Parks revenue, with $369,864, and that was 14.4% higher than 2012. We're talking about revenues from camping, skiing, dog park permits, shooting range use, firewood sales, lodge rentals, and the like. You might also be interested in this. Camping revenues was the biggest part of that boost, that revenue boost, with over $225,000 of the revenues coming from camping alone. We have camping at parks like Dubay, Jordan Park, Collins Park, Lake Emily, and maybe I'm forgetting one out there. And the third highest revenues for camping revenues in 2013 ever. Isn't that fabulous? And further, I thought you'd be interested, a total of 36,593 people camped at our county parks last year. Approximately 30% of the registered campers were Portage County residents. 64% reside in other counties in Wisconsin, and 6% came from other states. According to the recent campground surveys, these campers spent over $650,000 at Portage County businesses while on their camping trip. No one, oftentimes people don't see county parks as revenue boosters and economic development centers for our county, but indeed they are. And I wanted to, enlighten you on that if you hadn't had any perspective and hadn't thought about that so much in your own history or in your own life right now. And consider using our parks more. We love to see those lodges rented. We love to see when you've got a full house that you're reserving a campsite for the overflow or having family reunions and so on and so forth that bring people to the area. It's all helpful to all of us. We know we have premier parks in our county, and I'm looking forward to continuing to support the retention of those awesome parks and the awesome park people, staff that make it all work. So those are the two news notes today. Thanks for listening to that. Now, I can't wait to introduce you to Nicole Ozanich. And Nicole is our librarian at the library here on Main Street in downtown Stevens Point in the children's section.
Yes.
So welcome, Nicole.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I moved here, gosh, it's almost been 4 years now. I received my master's degree at Wayne State University in Detroit. So even though I grew up in the good old Upper Peninsula of Michigan, I went to school in Lower Michigan and was just looking for a good job, and this one popped up. I couldn't pass it up. So we moved here for the job, and it's been almost 4 years now, and I really love it. It's been great.
I'm just so excited when I hear people that have that kind of experience. So, all right, so now here you are, and I know you're doing a fabulous job at the library. So let's talk about what kinds of programs you have going on, what kinds of changes people may see if they participated last year compared to this year, and what's on deck.
Well, what is on deck is summer, so that is our busiest time of the year because, of course, all the kids are out of school and families are looking for fun things to do and air-conditioned places to hang out. So we have a lot of things going on this summer. We have our summer library program theme is Fizz Boom Read, so it's a science theme this summer. And we have professional performers who come into town. We're starting off with the Zing Hoppers on June 13th, and Century Theater allows us to have our performers there so people can pick up free tickets from the library at any time and come see those shows. We have the Bubble Man coming. We have a science guy who's going to be doing experiments, and I'm sure there's going to be some fizz booming and popping going on during that program. And we have a local magician who will be traveling out to our branches to show the kids some magic tricks.
The library branches, let's go ahead because everybody might not know where they're located.
Plover, Rosholt, and Almond. And Rosholt is newly renovated and it is beautiful. So we're very proud of it.
That was a great accomplishment over the last year. So
lots of work.
Yeah. So let's talk ages. Let's talk ages and then we'll go from there.
Well, it's definitely for all ages. We have the reading portion of our summer program. We have these worksheets, and it's actually for kids of all ages. So as young as toddlers can participate, and it's very easy. The parents can do things as simple as color a coloring sheet, check out a board book, read a bedtime story, sing a lullaby. So we make it definitely age appropriate. We also have a worksheet for kindergarten through 3rd grade, another one for 4th and 5th graders because they're definitely more mature and getting into those tween years. And then we also do a ton of things with teens in the summer. So the teens have their own worksheet, which is very simple, and they can read books, attend teen programs at the library, or volunteer for us in the summer, and they volunteer quite a bit. Last year, I believe we had over 75 different teens who volunteered, I think it was over 300 hours with us just in the summer.
So they're volunteering and helping with the other children's programs,
Yes.
aren't they?
Yes.
Practicing, developing some leadership skills and
Yeah, and they really enjoy it.
self-esteem.
Yeah, and the younger kids love it. And they also help out with our Crazy Days book sale, which is coming up in July, which is a huge project. The teens basically run that whole thing for us. So it's a great moment of pride for them.
Yay. Now, I remember when I attend various library board meetings, and you're providing updates, I remember about some different programs from the past, and maybe, can you highlight a few of them? And then, again, that gives us a sense of the diversity of programs, I think, as we're looking forward. It's still, and then touch on the cost of these programs for our families.
Well, everything through the library is free. Again, we have this reading program going on just this summer, but throughout the entire year we have multiple book clubs going on for younger kids, teens, and even older. We have a weekly chess club, and that's for first grade through 12th grade, quite a range. And we easily have about 80 kids who sign up for that every summer, and Plover is starting their own chess club this summer. So we're excited that it's expanding a little bit. And we also, of course, have story times going on. So typically in a week, we might do up to 11 story times. We have daycares that come in for their very own special story times. We do story times appropriate for toddlers, preschoolers, and infants. And we're very proud. We've revamped our infant story time and really highlighted it at pregnancy fairs and the new moms class at Ministry Hospital that I visit. So we're proud of that. And we also go out and visit Head Start every week. So that's another form of outreach that we do. Let's see, we also have a Lego program called Brick Central Builders Club that we started this year. So that's been very popular. That takes place once a month. We also started a Minecraft club this year, which we'll not be doing during the summer, but we have lots of computers that kids play Minecraft on all the time.
Oh, and when you're talking about all of these programs, there might be some listeners that wonder, all right, so what's the connection here for achievement of children, for learning, for their growth and development between school year and summer? What's that relationship? And I know with your background, you're going to be able to help everybody understand why it's important that we keep kids engaged in learning during the summer.
Well, yes, the summer is very important because there's that key word, the key phrase, the summer slide, that people throw out a lot.
Oh,
and that's when kids throughout the summer, if they do not continue to read or learn, they will actually go back to school in the fall, and they will have fewer skills than they did in the spring before they graduated the past year. So those teachers then in the fall are struggling with the children who have fallen behind to catch them up and keep them going throughout that year. So we really encourage families to read together in the summer, and reading together makes it more fun. And also kids, if they see their parents reading, that is also great encouragement for them to read on their own.
Sure.
So it's really, it snowballs. Audiobooks are a great way to do that, especially if anyone's taking vacations in the summer. That way the whole family can listen along on those hours, hours in the car when the kids might be in their video game, the parents are reading a magazine, and they're all separate. It's a nice way to bring the family together to do something.
And they can check those audiobooks out right in your section, I'll bet.
Yes, oh, definitely. And everything they check out at the library is free. Of course, they have to return it on time to avoid those fines. But
teaching responsibility.
Yes, but the children's department is very lenient. The books in the children's department are only 5 cents a day overdue, and they only get up to 25 cents. So it's really not too intimidating, I think.
For those that haven't been in the downtown library, I want you to paint a verbal picture of what does it look like? What kinds of resources are there? Because I think this is a key piece of the imaging. And then what we could do is we can start talking about, the numbers of people that come and some of the other programs that you've got going on.
Sure. Well, we're very proud of our children's department, and we have definitely revamped it over the years. It is a wonderful space for families to come and play together, and we have a lot of toys for children of all ages to use. We just got some brand new little toddler furniture that's great for the young ones.
I was down there, I saw it. Yep.
Yeah, so they have a nice space to kind of crawl around and play. We have lots of toys at children's level that they can take out on their own and use. We have a train table and a Lego table. We just added a nice new seating section for older kids because of course they don't want to be in the same area as the toddlers that are running around. And we have lots and lots of different collections.
Yes. Along that one, there's a bank of computers.
Yes, internet computers for kids and their parents. So if the kids are playing, the parents can go online and look for jobs and that sort of thing. We also have game computers for kids that highlight early literacy skills for toddlers on up.
Terrific.
So, yeah, lots of ages.
Skills. Sure. I know about a number of people who love to pull out a children's book even though they're not a child. Oh, yes. And I'm one of them. When I actually have a small collection. It's great, you know, when you have someone that's visiting your house and you can go down and pick a book out together. But at the same time, grandparents and others, I'm sure, can find a lot of value. So we shouldn't only think that it's just for young families. It can be for mixed groups. It can be for big brothers and little brothers and big sisters and little sisters,
definitely.
for youth groups and so on and so forth.
Definitely. And I encourage people, when they're researching something, I encourage them to start in the children's department because those books are going to give you the straight facts. You won't have to read hundreds of pages and chapters in order to learn the information you want on a topic. And we also have a wonderful teen section on the second floor. And I myself love reading the teen novels as well as the children's novels, but the teen ones are my guilty pleasure. And I think it's true for a lot of adults these days. You know, we've all heard of The Hunger Games and The Fault in Our Stars, which is coming out as a movie. Those are all very popular. So they really appeal to a wide audience.
Now, we have an annual report of the Library of 2013 library report for the full county-wide library system. And I note here it says the Youth Services Program provided 688 programs for children and teens with 12,770 people in attendance last year. Congratulations on that. And teens read 1,187 books through the summer library program. And over 1,700 children and teens participated in the summer library program. How do they sign up? Let's get to that before we maybe can take a look at some other programs on deck and maybe some of the props you brought along.
Yes, the summer program all starts on June 9th. So at least for the reading portion of the program, they cannot sign up until June 9th. However, next week we have some early sign-ups for a few different things like the volunteering for teens and stuff like that. So
do they sign up in person or can they do it online or what would the
either way the sign-up varies. We do have registration for every single individual program. So for instance, we like to partner with a lot of community businesses when it comes to the summer. So Dye Point Scuba is hosting another kayaking program for us this summer. And the Blue Bead is connecting with us to host some rock programs where they get to crack open geodes. And we also do some of our own in-house programs. I'm doing a Franken-doll program for teens where we get to take apart dolls and stuffed animals and then put them back together in various ways. So Franken-dolls. So for all of those individual events, you know, the kids and teens do have to sign up for it, so they can call to do that or come in person. When it comes to the actual reading program where they get their little worksheets, they'll have to come in person just to pick these up, but that's all it entails for signing up.
If I'm out in Rosholton, I'm going to go to the new library there, the expanded library there. How do the youth programs work out there? Those librarians are just are developing their own localized, local interest programs?
Right. We do have story times. Plover has weekly programs that they do, and like I said, they'll be doing a chess club this year and a game night. It really varies at Rosholt and Almond. We can't do as much programming just
Limited
because
space.
limited space, open
Yes.
open hours and staff. But they also do story times and various programs. When it comes to the teens, they pretty much need to come to the main library in Stevens Point to participate.
Can they also ask for books to be transported to them from the downtown library out to
anytime.
any of those branches?
Anytime. It's free and it's fast. And
So they don't have to worry about having someone drop them off at,
Right.
at the library downtown to pick up a book.
right.
So
No.
that's really important for folks to
Yes.
know.
Yes, and the reading portion of our summer program does take place at any of the branches. It's just the individual events where they may need to travel to the main branch to take part.
Understand. Well, let's talk about what's on deck. We've got about 3 minutes left in the show.
Sure. Well, I really would like to highlight this summer, I'm very proud the Library Foundation is supporting a new feature of our summer library program. And this year, when kids complete portions of their reading worksheet, there are little ticket stubs at the bottom here that we cut off. And as they complete their goals, they will be able to choose a charity to basically donate their ticket to. So we have chosen,
Wonderful.
we're going to support the Humane Society of Portage County,
Wonderful.
Literacy for Little Ones, which gives out board books to brand new babies that are born, and Project Fresh Start, which provides
Fabulous.
school supplies to children in need. So children can put their ticket in whatever donation, in whatever charity box they decide, and then the Library Foundation will supply all those funds. So we're very proud and excited of
What
that.
a cool connection you've made.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So you've got a couple of visual aids to pull out here, if you don't
Oh,
mind
gosh.
sharing
Yes.
that with us. I would hate to have those puppets just go home without anybody pulling them out of the bag.
Well, luckily I don't have a full-blown song with me today, but I brought these puppets because we like to use these for our story times. And I brought one of my more favorite, I guess, rhymes with me. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, I would.
Okay. And lots of kids love this one. They sing this along with me. 5 little monkeys swinging in the tree, teasing Mr. Alligator, can't catch me, can't catch me. Along came Mr. Alligator, as quietly as can be. Snap! And then you can continue it a few more times.
Well, that is a first for Portage County Matters. We never had a song and a puppet show. I love it.
Yes, we have quite a few skills that we've had to develop over the years.
I'm an environmental educator in my background. I've taught K to 12 out on the trails and in parks and so on and so forth, a non-formal education. And I will tell you, believe me, I love what you do. I love how you do it. And I love doing that too with kids as well. So
Yeah.
I just cannot thank you enough for what you do for all of us here in the county. We're going to
thank you.
close the show with the memory of the alligator and
our sweet
the
little
wonderful
monkey.
monkey. Thanks a lot. See you
Yes,
next time. Tom
thank you.
Schrader, City Parks Director, is going to be my guest on Portage County Matters.